Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special occasion. Here in Washington tonight, up in Philadelphia, and throughout our whole country, we're celebrating an anniversary of great importance. On this day, 175 years ago, the representatives of the American people declared the independence of the United States. First allies. The transformation during these 175 years seems to be complete, but it is not. Some things have not changed at all since 1776. For one thing, freedom is still expensive. It still costs money. It still costs blood. It still calls for courage and endurance, not only in soldiers, but in every man and woman who is free and who is determined to remain free. Freedom must be fought for today, just as our fathers had to fight for freedom when the nation was born. For another peace and freedom. We believe in the United Nations. We believe it is based on the right ideas, as our own country is. We believe it can grow to be strong and accomplish its high purposes. The United Nations will not succeed without a struggle, just as the Declaration of Independence did not succeed without a struggle. But the American people are not afraid. We've taken our stand beside other free men, because we have known for 175 years that free men must stand together. We've joined in the defense of freedom without hesitation and without fear, because we have known for 175 years that freedom must be defended. To preserve our freedom, the troops under the command of General Ridgway, including not only our own, but those of 16 other free nations, constitute, I believe, the most magnificent army on the face of the globe today. We are all familiar with the splendor of their heroic deeds. I should like to say something to that army, something that I think is felt by free men in every country in the world. Men of the armed forces in Korea, you will go down in history as the first army to fight under the flag of a world organization in the defense of human freedom. You have fought well and without reproach, in peace. The Charter of the United Nations says that its purpose is to maintain international peace and security and to take effective collective measures for the suppression of acts of aggression. We are fighting to uphold this purpose of the United Nations. That is what we have been doing in Korea. Around the world, that the United Nations Charter is not just a scrap of paper, but something very real and very powerful. To establish this is worth all the sacrifices and all the effort we have been making, because this is the way to peace. We must remember that Korea is only part of a wider conflict. The attack on freedom is worldwide, and it is not simply an attack by fire and sword. It is an attack by the uses of all the weapons that a dictatorship can command: subversion, threats, violence, torture, imprisonment, lies, and deceit. We cannot ignore the danger of military outbreaks in other parts of the world. The greatest threat to world peace, the tremendous armed power of the Soviet Union, will still remain, even if the Korean fighting stops. The threat of Soviet aggression still hangs heavy over many a country, including our own. The Soviet rulers are trying to destroy the very idea of freedom in every part of the world. The Soviet rulers are engaged in a relentless effort, therefore, to persuade other nations that we do not in fact stand for freedom. They are trying to convince the people of Europe that we intend to exploit them. They are telling the people of Asia, who are for the most part ill-informed about our purposes, that we mean to fasten new chains upon them. They are trying to make the rest of the world believe that we want to control them for our own profit, that the ideas of our Declaration of Independence are a sham and a fraud. This shrewd, this unscrupulous, this evil propaganda attack we cannot overcome with military weapons. We cannot transfix a lie with a bayonet or blast deceit with machine gun fire. The only weapons against such enemies are truth and fair dealing. The way to meet this attack is to show that it is false, to live up to our ideals, to prove that we mean them. The world looks to us. It is for this reason that persecution of minorities, which is wrong anywhere, is worse in America. It is for this reason that vilifying men because they express unpopular opinions is less to be tolerated here than in any other country. It is for this reason that holding men in bondage, personal, political, or economic, is a graver scandal here than elsewhere. It is for this reason to promote the general welfare is more urgently required of the American government than of any other. We must, today more than ever before, it is important that we continue to make progress in expanding our freedoms and improving the opportunities of our citizens. To do so is to strengthen the hopes and determination of free men everywhere. Moreover, it is doubly important today that we set an example of sober and wise and consistent self-government. We face a long period of world tension and great international danger. We have the hard task of increasing production and controlling inflation in order to support the strong armed forces we must have for years to come. And tardy. All these tasks challenge the ability of free people to govern themselves with both reason and resolution. There are people who say our democratic form of government cannot do these things. They say we cannot stick to a hard, tough policy of self-denial and self-control long enough to win a struggle. They say we are no match for the steady, ruthless way the Soviet rulers seek their goals. These people, and they're not all communists by any means, say we can't take it over the long pull. They say we will either lose our heads and rush into a world war, or that we will relax and give up our efforts to maintain peace. They say that the demagogues and the special interests will tear us apart from within. These people do not believe that free men and self-government can survive in the struggle against communist dictatorship. I think these prophets of doom are wrong. I think our patriotism and our faith in our institutions. The very idea of self-government is being put to the test in the world today as it has never been tested before. If we do not succeed in this country, if we do not succeed in building up our armed forces, in controlling inflation, in strengthening our friends and allies, then the cause of self-government, the cause of human freedom, is lost. If we, with all that we have in our favor, do not succeed, no other free government can survive anywhere in the world. And the whole great experiment that began in 1776 will be over and done with. I believe we will succeed. The principle enough